Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 coming at you with another Transformers video review, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Age of the Primes combaticon blastoff. And this is our second of the five combaticons to form Bruticus. We'll take a quick look at the box here. Here we do have him in his space shuttle mode, because space shuttles are definitely known for their role in combat. There we have Blastoff, and he does have the animation error head where his forehead is painted instead of his eyes, because that's a thing apparently. We got our statues on this side, we got his name, we got Bruticus there on the side, we got our legal jargon, and then we have our product shots on the back. And that's it for the box. And here we have our instruction booklet. So yeah, and straight out of the box his fin is separately packed. So there's that. But looking at the actual figure, he's alright. Again, he is more or less what I'd expect from a Combiner Deluxe. Again, I do think that the painted forehead thing is weird. I wonder if they're gonna maybe do a different version where they actually paint his eyes in the future. But the only way I really see them doing that is if they do like a multi-pack, and they probably will a couple of years down the line. But he does come with these two blasters, and they are blast compatible, sort of. Let's try the smaller one. There, that's better. And you can plug them into his fists, or you can plug them onto his forearms if you prefer that. I will say, I do think his fists look incredibly awkward. It feels like he's wearing mittens on the wrong hands, is how they look to me. I understand that these are supposed to be, the front of the space shuttle. You can see right there. But they're just weird. And honestly, I feel like there's enough room here in this hand or in this arm that they could have done like the switch around, pop out fist kind of thing. I feel like there could have been enough room in there to do that. But they didn't, so it is what it is. But yeah, but I mean, again, they're buying this mostly for the combined mode, not the individual bot. That said, I do really dig his alt mode. The space shuttle does look cool. See, we do have a Decepticon symbol there. We do get his booster feats, and yeah, if you want, you can have him kicking fire out of his foot. Of course, obviously, we do get that. I'll show that more in the vehicle mode, but do have the wings that fold up against his leg, and again the fin is just on a little tab or little post. You just plug it into his leg. So as far as articulation goes, he does have a ball joint for his head. He does have 360 at the shoulder. Arm comes out that far. Does have bicep swivel. He does have 90 degrees at the elbow. He does have wrist swivel, but I mean, he basically got a finger, a thumb, and the back of his hand sculpted in. So, yeah. Does have a full 360 at the waist. It's actually kind of snug on mine. Does kick that far forward and that far back. He does have a little under 90 degrees, just a smidge. Does have a hip swivel. He does actually have a chunk of plastic on this that fills in this gap a little better than it did on Vortex. So there's that. He does have ankle tilt, and you can move the toe up and down for the transformation if you really want to. And the wings can move on a hinge if you want to position them. So, speaking of Vortex, we'll go ahead and bring him in. And somebody just fell off the table. So here he is next to his other combaticon brethren for the other arm. And I do have him here, so we will just throw Brawl into the group shot just to show how he looks here next to the others. And yeah, like you can see that they actually put a little more into filling up that gap a bit. It doesn't look quite as bad. But yeah, these two definitely had some sacrifices in their armature regions for the sake of their vehicle modes. But again, they are more for the combined mode than they are the individual bots at this point. So it is what it is. Let's see, anything else to discuss? I think that's everything for the robot mode. So we will go ahead and move on to transformation. So we're just going to pop these guns off. And then we are going to come here to the back and lift this big thing up and bring it out like so. And then his head, you want to make sure to rotate his head 180 before you fold it in, because if you leave it with his face forward, it's a lot harder to get out. But if you turn it back in, you get a lot more area to grip it, and it pops out easier. So that is just something to note. Then you're going to untab his shoulders here from the sides and bring these up and together, and then you just want to make sure that we rotate his arms like so, and then we want to rotate his hands to match to form that front of the shuttle, and then these will tab together down the middle like so, and then we can bring this down and close it on top, and there we have the front half of the shuttle mode. And the back is pretty straightforward. It's just the kaleidoscoping, telescoping, whatever, foldy legs. So you just unhook the front shins, fold these back over themselves, like so, close them back up, tab them together down the middle, and make sure you tab them into the back, and then we just fold down these wings, fold up this fin, and straighten out those feet. And there we have him in his space shuttle mode. Hooray! And again, I do like this vehicle mode. Again, we have so many space shuttles used in combat, but again, it does look nice. It is a very solid shuttle. And again, you can, get all of the blast ports filled up back here with your engine ness. As they just all decide they don't want to stay in. But yeah, so I do always appreciate some good swooshy fly action. As for the guns, you can peg them underneath the wings here, and again there are some other ports. You do have these ones here on his shins that work, and you still have his hands and his forearms that you can plug them into. So you have some options there. But yeah, that's his vehicle mode. Let's see, who do I have to compare in vehicle mode? Because I totally forgot to transform one of those guys. I do have Blaster here. And here is the Dead Prowl. You can see him next to another Deluxe. But yeah, overall, again, this is more for the combiner aspect rather than the individual bot. Because I do want to get the new Bruticus, because Bruticus is one of those combiner designs that I think is really cool. But yeah, the two Deluxe ARM bots have definitely had some compromises. There's no denying that. Yeah, I mean, Vortex grew on me a bit after some time. Maybe this guy will too. And again, I do really like his vehicle mode. It's just some things about his bot mode, especially those backwards mitten hands that are really what I don't like. But again, we'll have to wait for the full combiner to really say whether or not they were worth it in the end. But I think that's about it for this review, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.